This tip involves using the Consolidate Data functionality in Excel to aggregate data from different sources. In this case, we're going to consolidate the data on the worksheets that are contained within this workbook, but we can consolidate data from multiple workbooks. I'm going to select the cell down in the body of the worksheet and go to the Data tab, and in the Data Tools group, left-click Consolidate, and the Consolidate dialog box opens up. As I said, we can browse and consolidate data from different workbooks. We can select different workbooks. The requirement is that the data needs to be laid out the same way, and it needs to be in a rectangular range. And it would also be helpful to have references that are common so that you can use those references to aggregate the data. And you'll see what I mean in a second. I'm going to cancel this because we're not going to get the data from multiple workbooks. We're going to get it within this workbook. I'm going to left-click this field and go to the Q1 worksheet and left-click and select the customer to the total header and drag down almost to the bottom of the worksheet. And then I'm going to left-click Add, and then I'm going to go up here and change the Q1 reference for the worksheet, backspace to Q2, and add that. And then I'm going to do that again, backspace, and only this time add Q3, and one last time, backspace 4, and add Q4. Now I have several different options on how I'm going to aggregate or consolidate this data. I can use the labels in the top row and or the left column, and I'm going to select both. I can also create links to the source data or not, and I'm going to leave that checkbox checked as well. Left-clicking OK. I've now aggregated this data so that I have a total for each one of the customers. And expanding out the details, for customer 1, I get all the sales for Ted's Bar and Grill, which totaled $4,168 for the year. Collapsing that back down, since I've chosen the row labels and the column labels, I have a blank column because I've also chosen to sum the data. And of course, we can't sum or add together text information, and that's why there's nothing in the product column. But we can add together the price, the quantity, and the total. Of course, in this circumstance, the price is an aggregate sum of various prices, and that aggregate sum is pretty meaningless. So you've got to be cognizant of what it is that you're asking Excel to provide you with. But since we link the data, if we have a change in the data, and I'm going to change this in a dramatic way, 500,000 to Ted's Bar and Grill, going back to Consolidate, we see that Ted's Bar and Grill now has a very large number for the total sales for the year.